So can I ask a new guy question here? Look, this is obviously really important. And by the way, I made a decision to sell every single one of my assets before the primary. Just be clear on that. But here's my question. Is this really the right way to run a railroad? We're being thrown at us reams of paper, lots of dialogue, and then we're taking a vote. If you had a gun to my head, I could not tell you what we're about to vote for. I have no idea what we're voting for. I was a co-sponsor with Senator Hawley on the Pelosi Act. Pretty straightforward. I read that bill. I have not read the mountains of paper that's in front of me. And I think it's wholly irresponsible for us to sit here, pretty much, let's be honest, this is a publicity show, and then be asked to vote on something where we have literally no idea what we're voting on. I mean, I'm sitting here asking my fellow senators, like, what do we actually, is there underlying amendment, substitute amendment? These are all words that you guys use every day, but for normal people, these are not normal words. So if there's a way to actually have a conversation in which we understand, hey, here's the bill, you've read it, you understand the implications one way or the other, and then we can have an adult, intelligent conversation, we pass it. I think it is important for us to restore faith in our institutions. But to just put a vote out there where we have literally no idea what we're voting for is gross incompetence and irresponsibility.
So first off, if I may, Mr. Chairman, the substitute was put out Friday. So you've had several days to look at the substitute. This is just a very minor change.
Text was just handed to us.
Well, it is everything that went to your office on Friday with one minor change, is my understanding.
We got it when we arrived in the committee.
Hold on one second.
This is my
Senator, with all due respect, look, sending something out Friday through some random computer system is also disrespectful to people on this committee. Why wouldn't you, if we're going to pass something, why wouldn't we have an intelligent conversation that says, hey, I'm the co-sponsor of the bill, that says, hey, this is what we're looking to change, and here's what it is, and read through it, and this is why we thought about it. Let's have a thoughtful meeting. Look, if we ran businesses this way, you wouldn't have to be an entrepreneur to run for office. You'd be flat broke. This is the most absurd process I've ever seen. And again, if we're talking about having faith in our institutions, if you guys think this is normal, all of you have been here too long.
Well, Senator, we do use computers in the Senate. I know that might be kind of weird for you, but we do use those. And we send them to your staff, and my staff looks at the things that come in because it's on a markup, and we go through it. It's actually the bill that passed last session, too. If I may finish, Mr. Chairman. And so this is only a change. There was a date certain as to, was it 27, I think, and instead it was changed to the term of an individual. And then let me go back to, I mean, President Trump is treated like every other member. There's no trading within 90 days. We deal with the trading issue right away, which I think is probably 95% of the problem is the trading. And this bill, this substitute deals with it after 90 days. The president, members of the Senate, members of the House are all going to be impacted by it. And that's what passed last Congress. This is what was in the substitute via computer, as odd as that may be for you, went via computer to your office. Your staff had a chance to look at. This is a minor change. That's what we're talking about.
Before we're going to be disdainful of the point, we got the substitute on Friday. We got the modification when we walked in. The modification is what removes Donald Trump from the bill. It's a big change. The modification vote is what we're going to have. You're right. Substitute didn't include the president. Yes, the bill will treat Congress and the president equally in the bill with the modification. Without the modification, it treats the president immediately. We will be voting to modify the substitute to not have this bill apply to Donald Trump while he's in office. That is what the vote is before us. But I sort of resent you treating our members by saying, oh, you don't know about a computer? I mean, you know better than that.
He complained it came via computer, Mr. Chairman. I was just, I'm sorry.
Mr. Peters, if you want to have a who knows more about technology battle, let's have that battle. So I know more about technology in my pinky than you do. Can you explain on page 4 and 5 what the changes are? Could you walk me through the changes that were made on pages 4 and 5? Because you know this bill off the top of your head.
The changes with the times.
So what's the changes in page 4?
The change in the change that was made, my understanding is the change was just on the date.
That's incorrect. All right, how about the changes on page 5?
Take a look at it.
So you don't know. It was delivered to you on a computer. You didn't read it over the weekend? So what were the changes on page 5?
The dates are changed throughout, Senator.
That's not the dates. It's not true at all.
I got this from Senator Hawley's staff, who gave it to us, and that was the change that they said was the only change.
Explain the changes on page 4 or page 5.
So,
Could,
yeah.